Tavern today for a very special announcement by the Brisbane Roar, announcing our brand new chairman, CEO and Chief Operations Officer. Both of these men have significant experience within the A-League, both having been players. They moved on to a great and successful career in business, and we'd like to make welcome to the Brisbane Roar our chairman and CEO, Kaz Patafta, and our Chief Operations Officer, Zach Anderson.
Thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out today. This is a very important day, not only for the club, our fans, the stakeholders and members, but it's a chance for us to hit the ground running and present the Brisbane community and the Queensland community as a whole, the new vision and the path forward for the club. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our fans, members, stakeholders, patrons, sponsors, and the media today for coming out here on this occasion. But also I'd like to thank the ownership group of Brisbane Roar for instilling their trust in both myself and Zach to lead this great club forward. And Brisbane Roar is a beast of a club. It is a foundation club in this league, and our intention is to take the Roar right back where it belongs. I'd like to start off just by mentioning our mission is to really be the club in Queensland, the football club in Queensland that everyone loves and everyone is passionate to support. And I know that's an easy statement to make, and it's going to take a lot of work, but our leadership style is to get in and amongst it with everyone, to pull the sleeves up from day one, and to be on the ground with each and every one of you. We understand the game starting off as players in this same league. I had some of my most memorable matches here at Suncorp, and we're so proud to bring the football back to Brisbane, and I can't wait for us to be able to experience that now in a position to be able to take this fantastic club forward. Our mission and vision you'll hear about as we progress, because it's important for us to build a very strong foundation for this club to follow. But clearly, as you will see over the coming months and years, we want to take Brisbane Roar to a position that is the most progressive and leading club in the country. And that's where this club belongs, and that's what the fans deserve, and that's what our members deserve. So we're extremely excited, passionate, and genuine in our intentions to take Brisbane Roar back to where it belongs, as the most successful and leading football club in Queensland, but also Australia-wide. I'll let Zach say a few words as well.
Thanks, Kaz, and thanks to everyone for coming out today. I echo Kaz's comments with my own excitement, and thank the ownership for the opportunity to become the Chief Operating Officer of the Brisbane Roar. As we progress in the next couple of weeks, we'll articulate and communicate to the fan base and the community at large very clearly, with no ambiguity, our mission, vision and DNA for this club moving forward, driven by the owners. And for Kaz and I, this is a really exciting moment, I guess a bit of a full circle kind of moment to be working together to drive this club forward. But we have so much enthusiasm. We've been here only 5 minutes. We officially start on Monday, but we've had a couple of conversations with the staff in the office, and just the passion and enthusiasm that our people have for the club is so exciting moving forward. So really looking forward to the challenge. It's a big challenge. We come with fresh perspective and ideas, but really looking forward to working with the team and the club and re-engaging with all of our stakeholders to really push this club forward. Thank you.
Kaz, where do you start?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's very open, isn't it? But I'd like to say this is a pretty surreal moment, personally, because there's been many questions over the last decade as to sort of why I left football at such a young age, and admittedly, it was a fork in the road moment for me back when I left the Newcastle Jets, and I knew that my vision and my dream was to eventually be in this position to take an A-League club forward, and I can't think of a better club to do that at. So it has been a long journey, and it's one that I'm proud to say I could not be happier to be in Brisbane, and to be able to take this club forward is a privilege.
Kaz, where's the club gone wrong?
I wouldn't say that that we need to necessarily focus on these issues, because I'm really focused on where we move forward. I think that there's a good foundation. I think that the club is in a position to move forward. What I think has been lacking is a management group that has been able to bridge the different functions of where a professional football club should go, and especially understanding the dynamics of the league and what an Australian club is able to do. We want to be a place that nurtures young talent. We want to produce the next generation of Matildas and Socceroos. We want to be able to be an exporting club, and we want to be sustainable. And in order to do that, I think you need to know what it's like to be in those dressing rooms, what the grass smells like, but you also need to know how to manage the functions off the pitch as well. So I would not necessarily say that Brisbane Roar has gone wrong. It's been an extremely successful club. The brand's in a good place. The club's in a strong place. I think now it's about proactive management. It's about management on the ground. It's about management that's willing to pull the sleeves up, and that's what we're going to bring.
Boys, the owners are the same, obviously. I mean, whatever, 12, 13 years. Have always been there, but maybe haven't always, just giving the club enough money to go. Like, do you guys have their backing to, in terms of increased funding to, put the club maybe on a level of other clubs who spend more than the Roar?
It's a good question. I think what we need to look at firstly, Marco, in this one is that the ownership have been there for some time. I mean, they've been here in Brisbane Roar for, like you said, 11, 12 years now, and have made significant contribution to not only the Brisbane Roar, but also to the A-League as a whole. We took this role knowing that we've got significant commitment from the Bakrie Group, from the owners. We've got their support. That means financial, but also the ability for us to step in and make decisions at this level, which is what the club needs. The other question that you've just mentioned in relation to whether there would be additional financial support, this is something that we have to consider in the next couple of weeks, and that comes down to strategy. We're looking to make this club extremely sustainable, but also successful. So with that, it's not always about spending dollars. I think it's about making your team lean, but providing a foundation and environment that everyone can be successful. So yes, financial attributes are very important, but we believe we've got all the tools to make this club successful again without necessarily having to overspend.
There's no denying your football expertise, but is it going to be a learning curve as far as club management is concerned?
I don't think so. I had an opportunity in Asia a few years ago to manage a club, and Southeast Asia is a booming market and it's a growing market, but just to put into comparisons, the budget there was the same as here. I was given the task to actually build our own private stadium, and that gave me a really good foothold of being able to run an organisation, and that gave me good experience. And over the last 10 years, I've been practicing corporate law, and I did that for a reason. I went away from football to do my time on the corporate side, on the administrative side of things, and I think that we bring now a different dynamic that's going to give us the ability to be able to understand what the playing group need and understand what the administrative team needs. And I think the key difference here is the energy and the passion and the love for the game. So yes, there's going to be learning experiences. There'll probably be a lot of mistakes along the way, but we don't know it all, and I don't think everyone knows it all. So we definitely have the right resources around us to execute on our vision and plan.
You told Ross that you'll bring your boots to training next week?
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to meet the team today, but I know we're still looking for a 10, and I wouldn't mind putting the shirt on. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, we've spoken to Ross. You know, I really want to get the most out of our squad, and we're talking here about the men's squad, but also the women's team and our younger players. So for me, I will be present in terms of being around the team, at the pitch. I want that. It's not to sort of get in anyone's face, but that's what I love. I love being out on the pitch. I love to feel it. I love to see what the guys are doing, and we're here to sort of build up every individual. So if that means putting the shirt on as well at training, well, you know, we might have to.
Do the Raw need a couple of big name signings?
So moving forward, we will be very clear with the DNA of the club moving forward. So as Kaz mentioned before, we want to be a club that nurtures and develops young talent. Within that structure, you need senior pros. And we've got some fantastic senior pros. We've got a couple of great visa players at the moment. Do we need big names? Not particularly. What we need is we need experienced players that can provide our youth players good guidance, good support to kind of help them progress their own careers. And so for us as new management, working on behalf of the owners, we're going to implement the strategy to make sure that our visa positions are strategic, and moving forward, it's not just about big names. It's about bringing in the right people, right players, but really it's about the strategic position to that fits in with our new ideas and our new DNA.
I suppose you've got the likes of the former coach, who's not doing too bad, and Ange. Associations with EPLs or any other European clubs or things like that, is that in the pipe works, and does that add to the system?
Yeah, we've already started that process. So one of the key benefits, I guess, of being involved in football previously is having that network. So Zach and I share an international network around European football. So we've already started that process and having discussions with clubs. We'd love to have affiliations because it's important that Brisbane as a club offers not only pathways for football, but pathways to build good people, to build good athletes, but also you know, for our team, both on and off the park, to have the opportunities to go and visit some of these clubs around the world that have best practice at play. So, you know, we want to do what we can with the tools that we've got to build and replicate those models. So certainly, we've already started discussions, and we will be making announcements in relation to certain affiliations that we'd like to have the club in with European clubs.
Can anything be learned from what? Anything be learned from what the Mariners have done in terms of a small club, restricted budgets, maybe selling players, but getting the right players in, and you know winning the league?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I think just to go back to the question about big names, I don't think that's always the draw card. What Brisbane fans want, what the Raw fans want, is they want entertaining football. They want the best Queensland talent and Australian talent in the team. They want exciting attacking football, and that's what we want to bring back. And I know Ross, speaking to him, that's what he wants. We want to set high standards. But it is critical that the players that we identify and recruit, that there's an objective process in that, and that how we identify talent is going to be a critical part to what we do. So the Mariners had an extremely successful season. They've proven that you don't need the big names to be successful. What you need is a really core, strong environment, a good foundation, a good football program, and I guess also one part of that is having the right type of academy to be able to nurture that talent.
Stand out.
When did you leave? I see you were born in Ayr.
Yeah.
When did you leave Ayr?
So my parents were both school teachers.
Soon he was born.
Yeah, as soon as I was born, get out of home help. No, my parents were both school teachers, so they were doing their country service. So I was born up in Ayr, and mum and dad relocated to Caloundra when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and grew up on the Sunshine Coast, and then went to school in Brisbane. Yeah.
Have you got a direct line to Ange? Obviously, you have very good emotions about the Raw. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No. Look, we don't have a direct line to Ange, but Ange, for me personally, plays a really big part of where I've gone in my career, and I see him as a bit of a mentor figure, especially having him at such a young age as a coach. So I'd be lying if I didn't say that a lot of my inspiration, the way that I think about football, does come from that school, because that's the system that I came through. So, I mean, look, I know that Brisbane probably plays a fond place in Ange's heart and his career, and we hope to sort of replicate what he's been able to do as well.
Yeah. Just in recruitment of players, both in Australia and overseas and all that sort of stuff, how important is having relationships with, I suppose, coaches or assistants or whatever at an international level?
It's essential. I think that our recruiting strategy moving forward will be very objective. Kaz and I are very big on data analytics, but at the same time, you've got to have a feel for the player, but also understanding of why you're bringing a player into your squad, both men and women. And for us, as we discuss more about our vision and mission and DNA, the really important part for us is to understand why we're bringing certain players in, but also having a production line of players and a production line of talent. As Kaz mentioned, one of the big new strategic directions we want to take is be a net exporter of talent, and that is to become a sustainable organisation. We want to be a club that is nurturing this talent, bringing in really good senior pros, but also as players go out, having players that can easily move into these positions, both not only players but also coaches as well. And so I guess from a community aspect, we would really like to support and have a strong Queensland core. I think it's important that the club supports and has a network, and this is something that we'll discuss more about, really reconnecting with FQ, really reconnecting with our local clubs, our grassroots clubs, our NPL clubs, because Queensland's got one professional team, and so the talent should be funneling to Brisbane Roar. And so this is something that we really need to focus on as a club, and I'll work really closely with our football department and alongside Kaz over the next couple of months to rectify any issues there. But this for us is a real important strategic next step to we work hard on making sure that the talent is funneling through, but also young boys and girls see the opportunity that they have. I'll just give you a very simple example. When I was coming through, we had the QAS for men. We had Brisbane Roar, Gold Coast United, and North Queensland Fury. Now we've got one team. So as a young boy and girl, and you have dreams and aspirations to play professional football, it's tough. And also for our coaches. I speak to many young Queensland interstate coaches. It's extremely difficult. You've got 12 A-League teams. And so for us, we really want to give a really clear elite pathway to boys and girls and to coaches who want to access that dream of being a professional player, just like Kaz and I had that opportunity. And so I guess it's a long-winded answer to your question on recruitment, but for us, that's really the focus for us moving forward.
Something for the juniors these days with some of those pathways.
Yeah, no, it's not cheap. Yeah, no, it's not cheap. But we've got really strong participation, and we've got to be able to connect. And I guess when I was coming through at the QAS as a young player I was very well prepared to come into professional football. And so we've got to go back now and really look at how our players are being prepared from a local club perspective, going through the representative ranks before they're entering professional football, and how that works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.